Hello, believers, non-believers, and everyone in between. You're listening to Stories with Sapphire. I am Sapphire Sandalo. Now get cozy and open your mind because it's story time. Hi everyone! I am not in my booth and I'm so sorry. I was having issues. Long story short, usually I bring my laptop into my booth, but I couldn't eject it from my hard drive and I didn't want to force eject it because I've been having issues with my hard drive. So here I am in my undecorated office because we are in the middle of moving. But hello, good to see everybody. Norman is by my feet. I wonder if no, I can't move my camera. Can I? Norman, you want to say hi? Maybe I'll pick him up later. Maybe I'll show him at the end of strain. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire Live. I'm Sapphire Sandalo, and this is the live stream that I do every Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, right here on youtube.com/Sapphire Sandalo. I received so many awesome emails and stories, and not all of them make it to the podcast or to the YouTube channel. So this is my chance to share all of those stories with you all. Let's see, was there any other updates? I should be all settled in next week. We're moving this weekend, and I'll give y'all a studio tour once that's all fixed up and cute. All right, so let's see. Do I have any fun news? Oh, Ghost Town Terror, the 6th and final episode has already come out. It's streaming on Discovery Plus, and it is also, re-airing on Travel Channel at random times. Check your, what do you call that? TV guide? Is that a thing anymore? I don't know. Just use the internet. But yeah, you can binge all episodes. If you don't have Discovery Plus, you can get a week free trial. So that's plenty of time to binge watch the entire series. Excuse me. I am so burpy. All right, y'all. So I have got a couple stories picked out for today. As always, I did not read through all of them completely, so I will stumble. I will fall. And then at the very end, I will draw us all a card from my favorite deck, give us all a collective reading. So make sure you stick around for that. And on we go. All right. So this first one is called I Saw Myself, from Catherine. My name is Catherine. I am 15 now, but 12 when this happened. This story is short, yet all the more scary. I was at a convention in a park one Saturday with my mom and brother. My mom was in the road with my brother helping him skateboard while I was at the art station painting a bus. I was finished with what I was doing, so I turned around to go to some other station to find something else to do. But when I did, I saw a girl walking up to me. As she neared, I noticed she looked almost identical to me. So then she was standing right in front of me, and the air around me felt thick. I looked at her dead in the face and noticed she was perfectly identical to me. She was me. She then raised her hands to me, but I was scared, so I closed my eyes. They were shut for a good 10 seconds, but when I opened them, she was gone. This is the first time I'm telling this story to anyone. Oh no, Catherine. Uh-oh. So I'm sure everyone in the chat is familiar with the lore behind seeing your own doppelganger. Apparently when you see yours, it's an omen of death. I have heard and am familiar with a lot of doppelganger stories, but the ones that I usually hear are ones that are not necessarily people seeing themselves, but seeing people that they think are their family members or their friends, where they see someone, they're like, no, I'm like, weren't you just like over there? And they're like, no. So weird. And actually, when Stories with Sapphire returns, the third episode, I'm working on it today, is going to be about that. Because it's weird. It's weird. It's weird when there are people that should not be there. Okay. Yeah, let me know in the chat if any of you had experiences with doppelgangers. Ugh, it's so creepy. And apparently, that there is some truth to that theory that we all at least have. I think the theory is that we all at least have 7 people who look exactly like us, just because of like probability. Like it's gonna happen that there's people who look exactly like us. Isn't that cool? And also, side note, there's this really great Hulu documentary called Identical Strangers, I think. Someone correct me. It's about these triplets who were all 3 of them were adopted into separate families, and then they meet each other as adults. But there's all this like effed up stuff behind like why they were adopted, and highly recommend. It's really good. Scary in like a weird way. All right, next story. Okay, this one seems interesting. One story that I have is when I experienced astral projection. Me and my little sister currently share a room together. She's 16, I'm 22. This took place a year or 2 ago. I fell asleep around 11 p.m. at night, and so did she. While I was asleep, I woke up and then instantly stood up from my bed after waking up. It didn't take me long to realize that I saw myself laying on my bed still, and then I turn around and still see my little sister laying on the bed, tossing and turning like she normally does. I was confused on how I saw myself laying in bed and also saw my little sister like everything was normal. I looked at the door and I saw that the hallway light was on. I bent down to see if I saw anything, but I ended up seeing sharp toes, and they were so sharp I could have mistaken them as claws. I simply said to myself, well, that's something you don't see every day. After me saying that, my door swung open so fast, and what I saw next scared me. It was a black demon apparition standing outside my door. Then it lunged at me, which caused me to fall all the way back into my body. And when I was back inside my body, I gasped for air, and I tried to scream for my little sister, but no matter how much I tried, I couldn't speak for a minute. I was completely confused and scared on what happened that night. The next time this happened to me, I did what I did the first time. I stood up, I saw myself, but I started walking towards my bedroom door, and I ended up opening it. When I did that, I already knew that wasn't good, because the knowledge that I know about astral projection is that you're not supposed to go too far or you'll get stuck. But I walked out my room door and into the living room, and I saw the same demon standing in my living room with the front door to my apartment open. But then he spoke to me, and the only thing he said was, "It's time." I ended up saying, "Time for what?" And that's when the apparition started running towards me, which caused me to run back in my room and to jump back into my body, which caused me to gasp. And then the cycle repeats itself. Whoa, this is from Kiana. Thank you for sharing that. The thing about astral projection, at least this is what I hear, that is a huge myth that you can get stuck in the other realm. It is not possible, as far as I've heard. You could potentially get sick if you are separated for too long, but you can't die that way. And astral projection is actually a really fascinating way of, what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, I lost my train of thought. I was trying to remember this thing I read on the astral projection website. Anyways, I haven't like seriously tried astral projecting in a long time, but it is very real. It's a very real thing. Some people believe that every time we dream, we're astral projecting, or every time you lucid dream. I feel like I had something to say. Oh, should I share it? Yeah, I'll share it. I had a dream recently that was super weird. It was the normal dream nonsense, and then all of a sudden I felt this kind of big bony hand grab my head on the back, and I couldn't turn around, I couldn't move, and I couldn't see what was behind me, but I just had the impression that it was like a skeleton with like a cloak, very Grim Reaper-ish, but I couldn't see it. That was just the idea that I got. And I remember thinking, like, oh, I can't turn around, I can't move, so I'm dreaming. And that made me feel a lot braver. And so I remember shouting out of it. I was like, who is that? And then I heard this like dark, ominous voice just like booming. Not booming, it was a whisper. Very opposite things. I heard this like whisper behind me, and it said 6 months. And I woke up and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like a mystery countdown. That's too creepy. No. Do not give me a period of time and just peace out. Don't like that. Anyways, I thought that was weird. If anyone wants to interpret that, you are free to. All right, here we go. This is just a question someone sent in. Can I pick up on spirits, or is it just my imagination or something? Hi there, Sapphire. I'm writing to you today to get some insight on something. I grew up Christian, and it wasn't until later on that I had started to get these feelings from certain locations and buildings. I can't fully explain it, but it's like how you get this feeling that something is off or just isn't right, or at least that's how it started out anyway. That's how it started out as. Anyway, later on, it started to turn into feeling uncomfortable and scary. Then one day, a man had died near where I lived. It was a drug deal gone wrong or something like that. I can't really remember, but every night until we left, I felt something there. It really didn't feel evil, just off. And I'd see a shadow and automatically knew that it was him walking, but there are some times where I feel like it's in my head. But my mom always reassures me that I am tuned into these things and that I have abilities. And as of recent times, ever since that I had decided to go pagan, I have seen things out of the corner of my eyes, like small movement, and no one is there. I've also been feeling these things too. I just want someone who has some knowledge about these types of things to give me some insight and to tell me if it's one or the other, or maybe even both. I hope that I can hear back from you soon. From Jacob. Okay, Jacob. Can I just say, I love questions like this. Because I love telling people you are powerful. You are magic. Here's the secret, y'all. Everyone has these abilities. The degree you have it is different. It's just like any other skill. Some people are born more musically inclined, more athletically inclined. But the thing that makes those people different from you is that they sorry, my dog just sighed really loud and it sounded like he was like, oh god, here we go. The thing that separates them from you is that, well, if they decide to pursue that skill and get better at it, is just the hard work. There's no such thing as, I think I'm contradicting myself. I think some people can start off with a head start, but ultimately in the end, what gets you further is the work that you've put into the thing. Does that make sense? And so everyone has the ability to increase that stuff. The thing about Catholicism and Christianity specifically, I grew up Catholic, and this is my understanding, is that it's all based around reminding you that you are not the power, God is the power. And the purpose of that is because they wanted to keep people from, maybe getting too arrogant or having it get to their head. I don't know, but keeping people down, to be completely honest. There's nothing wrong with humility, but we all have innate power. And the thing about witchcraft and magic, the whole thing is you are the power. So that's the major difference. So that's why when a lot of Christians or Catholics realize they have these gifts, they get really confused because they're like, hang on a second. I thought that this was reserved only for God or for whatever, saints or not me, just a lowly human. Newsflash, you're all, if you're made in God's image, then you are Magic. I almost said you are God, and that would have been bad to say. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Okay, I've talked on long. Okay, anyways, Jacob, you understand what I mean, right? Oh, wow, what? Oh, that's weird that you guys put those numbers in the chat right now. 666 and 999. Those are numbers that have been shoot up for me. Allison Dempsey, just in case, it never hurts to get one's affairs in order, just in case. I don't think it was a countdown to my death. If it was a countdown to my death, I think it is a symbolic death, a metaphorical death. Because I think I did figure out what the date means for me, but I don't want to share it. It's a little personal. All right, y'all. Want your next story? Ooh, okay, we're running out of time. We're just blazing through this. Okay, I'm going to have you guys vote. Do you want to hear The Gray Woman and Her Slippers or The Ghost in My School's Bathroom? And then we'll do a reading. I can prep my cards. Three llamas. I thought you was a priest. I am not. Absolutely not. Ay. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize how delayed the chat was. I'm just like killing time over here. Shuffling my cards. All right. The second one, you want to hear Bathroom Ghost? All right. Bathroom Ghost, it seems, is the most popular one. I did also see a ghost in a bathroom. I shared that on a live. Did I? Well, I shared it in the most recent bonus episode of Stories with Sapphire. The dream I had with a ghost in a bathroom. Oh, God. Too scary. All right, here we go. Last story, but then we do our reading. The Ghost in My School's Bathroom. I used to attend a boarding school in China. The teachers there were very strict. I remember absolutely hating it there. When I would get annoyed or just generally feel bad, I would go to the school's bathroom. It smelled really bad and was overall not very clean, but I didn't care. After a while, I realized something wasn't right. I kept getting the feeling like someone was touching me. As a kid, I never believed in ghosts, so I just blamed my imagination. But it kept getting worse. Once, I remember being angry because one of my classmates was making fun of me. I felt so mad as I rushed to the bathroom. I sat in one of the stalls, and that's when it happened. I felt a strong grip on my arm. It hurt so much, and I was shocked because of how sudden it was. I felt fingernails dig into my skin as I yelped out in pain. And then just as suddenly as it started, it stopped. I looked at my hand, tears making my vision blurry. You could clearly see red marks right above my wrist. There was also blood, I assume from the nails. One of the teachers heard me and came into the bathroom to see what happened. They called my parents to pick me up. I tried to tell my mom about it, but she just screamed at me, telling me to stop lying and being an attention seeker. I got grounded, but at least I never went back to that school again. I don't know what was in that bathroom, whether I was actually doing it to myself without realizing, but the thought of what happened always brings chills down my spine. And that was submitted by Steve. Yeah, there's something about bathroom ghosts, dude, that are extra scary. And maybe because when we're in a bathroom, we are the most vulnerable. I mean, we are pants down, ass out. Like, you couldn't be more vulnerable. And bathrooms are just cold and gross. That's weird. I mean, that's not the first time I have heard of scars or cuts and things like that appearing out of nowhere. That is actually very much a thing. Very much a thing that happens. But maybe, Steve, you have some psychokinetic, is that what you call it? PK energy that manifested physically like that? I don't know. All right, y'all. That's all the stories for today. But we got a reading. All right. I'm going to shuffle the cards. So this is a collective reading for everyone in the chat. The cool thing about these cards is like the messages are just so universal that you'll get something out of it no matter what, even if you don't think it completely resonates with you. That's what I like about this deck. Okay. Let me see what number I want to pick. Okay. Okay. So we got summer, bask in joy and light. Let's be. All right, let me because I have not memorized these yet. Let me read you the definition. Rise up, open your wings and shine. Bring your projects and plans out into the light, into manifestation. Summer has always been recognized as a time for joy, for going on adventures and making memories. Flowers are in full bloom, animals are enjoying the freedom of the wild summer days and nights, and people are taking holidays, basking in the sunshine and being lifted energetically by the light and warmth. This is the perfect opportunity for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Light has come to banish the darkness. Clarity is arriving too, allowing you to know exactly where you are and how you can move forward. Angels and ancestor guides are encouraging you to enjoy this moment and not to rush forward, because this is a time for pleasure, enjoyment, and expansion. There is a great chance that you have extra energy, creativity, and inspiration at this time. Notice what is coming to you, as it is inspiration directly from the divine. That's nice. That's a nice card. All right, everyone, go bask in your joy and light. Thank you for joining me today. I'm sorry I couldn't do it in my cool booth. Oh, I now realize I won't have my booth next week. I'm selling it, and they're taking it on Tuesday. There's no place for it in my new house. But that's okay. I'm going to build a new booth and make it cooler. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to watch Ghost Town Terror on Discovery Plus. You can get a free week-long trial. That's plenty of time to watch all 6 episodes for free. It's also only $4.99. So, hey, if you take longer than a week, just pay $4.99, and you got a whole month to watch it. All right. Have a great day, everybody, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. My dog just sighed again. He's a very sassy guy. Norman. Oh, he's sleepy. I wish I could show you him. I can't like move my laptop right now though. Maybe you'll okay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. All right.